¿Más?
Más. Folks, welcome to Diamond Heights, San Francisco, and joined today by a titan of Latin music, a politician, just an all-around serious character, Cesar Ascarrunz. Welcome to the Jake Feinberg Show. How are you, sir?
Fine, thank you.
Can you talk about, to the audience around the world, about the term Descarga? What does that mean to Cesar?
Descarga means it's an expression of all the musicians getting together and making a beautiful sound. And every instrument melts in one, and the reaction is, or the product of that descarga is so wonderful. People, they enjoy, they applaud, they dance, they scream. That's what is descarga.
How early in your life did you experience this? I mean, you start playing music in Bolivia, where you come from?
No, my grandmother in the house and we used to call living room. You know, we used to have one upright and one small grand piano. But we used to play like a children, playing games. You know, but my father was a congressman. He was a big wheel. My son is not going to be a piano player. He's going to be my father was an international lawyer. You know, he was in La Sorbonne in France, Salamanca University in Spain, Harvard here, and in Bolivia. So he was a well-educated person. He says, my sons, they're going to be the same or better than the father.
Well, that's all we can hope for, is the children always are surpass the parents. But, you know, we have a lot of issues now, Cesar, related to immigrants that are coming from very, very rough areas in South America, Central America.
South America.
Can you talk about your journey to this country?
The thing is, but they killed my father when I was 7 to 8 years old.
They kill your father?
Yes, they killed. It was after the revolution. It was like in Germany, going after the most important people in every city. So they did that without nothing. My uncle was a minister of defense. He was a general. They put him up against the pam, just squads. And my father was in a square assassinated. And it was nothing for me or my family. We had a good family over there. Good. The reason is it was not for me to stay there. We don't have to leave the country. We say that because we did have a lot of things over there. You know, I have an older brother, different father, which is he died. He says, "What you want me to go in the United States? I'm going to be an IBM car." He says, "I have a car, I have a pickup truck, I have a van, I have a trucks, I have a beautiful house, 11 bedrooms in La Paz, Bolivia, a huge house. All my family lives here. So why from one corner to the other corner, they say hello to me, they take their hats, and they, you know, and over there, I will be another person." But he never wanted to come here. He came as a tourist many times.
So, I just would like you to talk about being an immigrant coming
Yes.
to this country. How were you received? Now they still want to. I mean, Resident Chump, he
Right.
wants to build a wall.
Yes.
What was your journey like to
My
this country?
journey was through all I took a ship to Colombia, Panama, from Panama plane to El Salvador, Guatemala. In Guatemala, I got the other visa, and I took the train, beautiful old Mexico, to Mexicali. From there, I took a bus to Tijuana, and I crossed the border with my visa. I didn't have no problem whatsoever. I went to San Francisco. From San Francisco, I took a taxi to Berkeley. They're amazing. But I used to have some extra few dollars, and I met my friends, which is I used to know, and the rest. They told me, one friend of mine who used to have a lot of money here, here's the papers, go and change your visa from a student tourist visa to resident visa. I went to Central America, Mexico too long, Central America, Guatemala, which I was there. It took me 2.5 years to get my visa, not because of the papers. It was that the assistant to the consul, they always been very unfair to people in every country. You know, they think there are gods. But after that, I got here in Market Street, 7th Street, between Market and Mission and Market, 7th Street, Greyhound bus, 25 cents in my pocket. And I called my friends, I changed to that 2 dimes, 1 nickel. Berkeley, they came and picked me up, and the rest is history.
History. We're talking to an absolute legend, Cesar Ascarrunz. So, how did you? Who was the club owner that was your mentor? Did you have a mentor here?
No.
So how did you tell the story of how you opened Cesar's?
Okay. Oh no. Well, I'm going to go from the beginning.
Yeah.
Yeah. From the beginning is like this. We started playing music when I went to college, Berkeley. I attended UC Berkeley, and all the students.
1960.
Yes, in the 60s. In the 60s. And I attended Berkeley, and an architect, which is he became an architect, engineers. We get together. We make the group Los Locos.
Los Locos.
Del Ritmo.
El Ritmo.
We used to play in the schools, in the bars, many places, pack 'em up the places. It was just
Play on the quad? Play
Oof,
outside?
full,
Yeah.
outside in the patios crowds. So after that, they hired me to play on Broadway Street. Lucky Pierce on Broadway, 6 nights a week, year and a half I played there, pack 'em up the place on Broadway, and just the rhythm. I have pictures, you know.
Wait, did you say Pierce Street Annex? What was the name of the club?
Lucky Pierce.
Lucky
Pierce.
Pierce.
Pierres. Lucky Pierce.
Who was in that band?
Guy Hoffman on timbales, Khalifa, Dennis Reed on congas, Flaco Lizárraga on bass. I am in the piano, and my brother was playing Campana Widow, scratch, the quintet. After that, they didn't treat me good like Pierce because they were taking advantage of me. I moved to Boulenois on Kearney Street, half a block, 6 months. After the 6 months, I moved to the corner of Columbus and Broadway, El Cid, 2.5 years.
That was a strip club.
Huh?
El Cid's was a strip club.
Across the street from El Condor.
So you played for Carol Doda?
Carol Doda, before she did the,
Implant?
before she implanted
Breasts.
their breast, I'm sorry to say that way, she asked me to go out with her. I said, no, thank you.
But before, she didn't have...
Yeah, before Carol
She
Doda.
asked to go out with you?
Huh?
She asked to go on a date with you?
Yeah, I said, no, thank you. I have a girlfriend.
Okay.
So, and Carol
You played
Doda-
El Cid's, though. You played El Cid's.
El Cid 2.5 years.
Now, a lot of the cats, Mark Levine, good friend of yours, used to play, and they would play jazz tunes for 20 minutes
Yes.
while they would dance. But
Yes.
were the dancers asking for Latin tunes? What kind of tunes would you play? You played milestones, or you played Latin?
We
music?
play in El Cid chachas, mambos, guajiras,
Guajiras.
merengues, the whole sambas, Abanagila, Nagila, they can dance taran, Mexican music. So, and I start thinking, if I'm making money for other people with my music, I better open a place. So I found the place in Green and Columbus, a basement, at the beginning of the 70s. I purchased the place, I fixed them up, put the things, I bought the liquor license, and I was 10 years there.
That was the original Cesar's.
Excellent place, 4 nights a week, full house.
Just for the record, how much did it cost to buy did you buy it or rent it?
I leased the place.
How much was the lease per month?
Oh, at that time it was $600.
A month.
Yes.
So you became musical director there, or you play in the house band there?
No, that was my group.
That was your group.
Yeah,
but
the Latin All Stars.
the Latin All Stars. Yeah. And this was, and what year was this?
In the 70s, part of 70s.
When did your place open? What was the first year?
I think so, 1969.
Okay, so 69.
Yeah.
And what's interesting is, like, I just want to figure out, I mean, I've interviewed Paul Jackson, the bass player.
Who?
Paul Jackson.
Yes.
Okay?
Yeah, Paul Jackson.
He said that he learned to keep time. He learned Latin music playing these cruises around the bay.
Oh, yes.
Okay, with Victor Pentol.
Oh, yes.
So, how did you gain the respect of the Latin community outside of your music? I mean, who was your forefather in Latin music?
And in San Francisco, it was none.
None, because Cal Jader was a
Cal
Swedish
Jader
cat.
was-
He was a Swedish.
Cal Jader was in Matador, right there, a few blocks away.
Right, but he was not Latin. He played great Latin jazz.
He played at Cesar Latin Dancing.
Of course he did. But was there somebody here? Was there, like, the Escovedo brothers? Who was already?
The Escobedo brothers, Pete Escobedo was my conga drummer, and Coque Escobedo was my timbal player.
I love it.
And after that, he became the coro and a campana player because Willie Vargas took the timbales. He was a singer, a good timbal player. So Felipe Escobedo, once in a while, a bass player, cousins of Pete and Coque. And they played for me, and I have pictures, and that's the history. It's nothing to deny that.
No, of course that. But I mean, I guess I wanted to ask you: when your band, did you have a drum? Did you have a trap set in your band, or was it only timbale, conga?
When people they used to ask for a set of drums, we just add that, no problem. But mostly it was timbales. We didn't need more than that.
Now, to explain why you didn't. Today, the trap set is dominant in all music.
Yes.
Why did you not need trap set with the?
Because the full set of drums, because it takes a lot of space. One, and you have to have an extra guy. So why do you have extra set drums and a timbal player? Two things which they do the same. For Latin music, I'm talking about. For jazz, it's completely different. You need the whole set of drums for Latin jazz or Latin music.
This is just mind-blowing stuff. So who did you recruit to fill up 4 nights a week? I mean, you were the house band 4 nights a week? Or
in Green and Columbus?
Yeah, I mean,
I used to have all kinds of musicians they want to play because it was a steady job, good pay, good pay.
so explain that. Explain that because we've moved in this culture here to it's. I don't know if you know, but I mean, musicians now have to pay to play, or they play for the door. Musician is not seen as a profession in our society anymore because the music is unquantifiable.
Well, in North Beach, in San Francisco, I was the first nightclub owner to charge the door.
This is why I do my show. Caesar's was in North Beach.
Yes.
And you were the first one to charge the door.
Admission. All the clubs they used to have 2 drinks minimum. So I said no, they can drink 1 or 2, whatever. $2 was the beginning. This first 6 months. In the 3rd month, in the 7th month, I raised $1 more, $3. And everybody was happy, no problem. 4 nights a week, full house. We used to have the best night. It was Thursday night.
Still
Not
is.
Friday, no Saturday.
Yeah, Thursday.
Yes, you know why? It was the Mambo night. It was a concurso we used to call. It was a dance contest. You know, $50 the first one, 20.
Best winner gets the money.
$50 the one, the second one $30, and the number 3 $20. It was $100 that night, you know, expenses. Full house every Thursday night.
And a lot of cats.
Huh?
A lot of musicians would come by.
Yes. The group at that time used to be trumpet, Luis Gasca. On trombone, Julian Priester.
Julian was playing in this.
Julian
a dear
Priester.
friend of the program. I cannot. Julian Priester was playing
Yes, one of the
bone
best trombone players in the country.
ever.
And Hadley Kaliman on sax. And sometimes
Martin Fierro.
Martin Fierro. No, it was another one. A well-known saxophone player.
Roger might be able to fill it. It was a Latin cat or
It was a Black American. Oh, he's
Jules Broussard?
no. Jules Broussard. Once in a while, he used to no, better than that.
Better than that.
Oh yes, and what's his name? It was a short black guy. Did some record with Luis Gasca.
It'll come to you.
Well, anyway,
I wanted. People are asking about your style, because he has the Cesar 830 record.
I give
Joe
you.
Henderson was.
Joe Henderson.
Joe Henderson was the cat.
That
Good
was
call,
Joe
Roger.
Henderson. Wow.
Because he and Louis, because Joe spoke Spanish. Joe spoke like 7 languages.
You know, Joe Henderson. We used to have a full sax, you know, beautiful.
Oh, dude,
And,
that dude.
and,
I mean, if you can't dance to that,
You know, and Martin Fierro, and it was another guy, Martin.
Mel Martin,
Pierre Martin.
rest in peace. He passed. He left us.
He also played with me. And trumpets for a little while is yes, guys from Perico Ortiz,
Tom Harrell, I bet.
Tom Harris.
Tom Harrell played with
Yes, and another trumpet player was played with Mongo Santa Maria. He stayed for a while in San Francisco. Gosh, I don't remember his
Was
name.
it,
Maldonado.
Ray Maldonado.
Yeah, yes. I used to call him La Reina, the queen. And well, you know, bass players. I used to have a bass players. Jorge Pomar. He was another one.
Benny Velarde. Benny Velarde.
Oh, Benny Velarde played timbales for many years for me.
He played bass too or no?
No, he never played bass. He plays timbales.
Wow.
Timbales.
Would you describe your piano playing as more
In Berkeley,
in Berkeley?
because I never used to know how to play cha-cha-chas. I did have some God's gift, let me put it away. I don't read music, I can play. If you sing something, I will go to the piano and I will play. I have that pitch, they call perfect pitch.
Right.
And it's a God's gift. And thanks to my playing piano, I own this house.
But your style is a percussive style on piano. Who were some of the jazzers that you?
Well, it's a Peruchino. Peruchino from Cuba. I listen a little bit there, and many other people. Which is my style is just I don't copy nobody. It's just my fingers goes wherever it has to go. That's what it is.
Right. No. And so, can you talk a little bit about Flip Nunez?
Who?
Flip Nunez.
Oh, the piano player.
The Filipino guy.
Yeah, Filipino. He was a good piano player.
He was amazing.
You know, he was a good piano player, and well, he didn't play in no many places. There was no places to play. You know, you have to bring crowds. You get job. You don't bring crowds. You know, you have to play music for the people. You know, you have to play for. If you have to play the same tune 5 times in one night, you have to play because people they patronizing the business, patronizing you. You know, in Cesar's in the mission, we used to play El Caballo Viejo 3, 4, 5 times. One guy used to tell me, "You already played." Well, he says, "If you don't like, there's another club up the street." You see, there's 20 people from Santa Rosa. They want me to play El Caballo Viejo. You know, things like that. I always play music. We play for the people, not for us. You know, and people they sing with us, they enjoy with us, and that's the name of the game. I don't play music just for like some groups they say we play our arrangement.
Right.
But they don't play no places.
You
No
know, it's
place.
a business. Roger and I were talking about it last. That's the biz. That's the business side of it.
Yeah.
If you want people to be the thing that I have an issue with is, well, were you ever at a point in your career where you said, I dig what my band is doing, and I hope the audience digs what I'm doing, but even if they don't, I'm still going to play it because I love this band.
We did that. I did that too. It was
But nobody came.
well, when you play wherever the people there are not going to listen, they just walk away. We don't play. It's a supply and demand. Simple questions. You know, there are tunes. Oye, como va? You have to play that. You know that. It's a Tito Puente's tune. Many other. It's just like we have a lot of tunes, which is people enjoy very much. Believe me, and I've been very successful in bringing people. And Roger knows that. He's the one. He played more years with me than anybody else. This guy, Francisco #2.
My man, Roger. Yeah.
Tell them about the advance that Cesar brought to this country. That's how I met Cesar to San Francisco. The people who Cesar brought, the groups that Cesar brought, world-class musicians,
Oh, yes.
never were here before, but through Cesar, here in San Francisco, opened up people's eyes to the music.
All right, well, let's get some names there. Who did you bring?
Well known, like he said that. He was a guy, the #1 from Cuba. He used to love me to me like he was like a father for me. Israel Lopez Cachao. He used to tell me, Cesar, my brother, say, I love you. Cesar's Latin Palace and you are very well known all over the world. I travel all over the world. The San Francisco, United States, they talk about San Francisco, and they talk about Cesar's Latin Palace and your band. Always. And the last time I saw was at the Gift Center years ago. He told me to me, I was looking for him, he was looking for me. We had each other. I'm going to play, but that was the last time I saw Israel Lopez Cachao, the eminence of Latin music in the world, from Cuba.
There was a contingent in the East Coast, the Fania label, right? Eddie Palmieri, Charlie Palmieri. Eddie told me a story about Dorothy Dandridge. You remember her, the actress?
Who?
Dorothy Dandridge.
Yeah.
She wanted to swim in the pool in a hotel in Las Vegas.
Yes.
So she'd take a swim, and when they finished, they drained the pool.
Because she was black, yeah.
Yeah.
How did you handle the cultural bias? I think we are all one human race. I believe this.
The thing is,
How do you handle it? How did you push back through your music?
You know, the music is a universal language which people they must understand. Latin music is the most popular music in the world, and my musicians, my friends, there were people, just me. We were one. It was no such a thing. Who is Filipino? who is from Germany, who is from Cuba, who is from here. Color, race, nothing means nothing in music. It means nothing to me because I was raised with a beautiful, open mind. I don't know what's discrimination. Don't take me wrong. I don't know.
But you've seen it, you felt it, you've dealt with it, you've dealt with discrimination.
Oh yes.
So how do you how do you handle it?
When I used to own Cesar Latin Palace and Mission, I ran for mayor. They were afraid. I was second to Feinstein, who is this Mexican who's challenging the system.
I love it. I love it. What year was that? What was your first?
In the 80s. In the 80s.
80s.
The police came. The police tried to shut me down. You Mexican, they told me, why don't you go back to your own country? This country is for whites only. I have recordings of that. And I said, excuse me, officer, I went like this, put my shirt, my coat. If you find me the formula of Michael Jackson, I will be like a milk, you know. And they says, you so-and-so, you SOB, who you think you are, you lousy wetback. Sir, I think so. I'm a little more white than you, in case you want to see the face. And also, I'm recording you. It went like this, my coat. That's illegal. Well, we'll see in court, you know. And they stopped a little bit.
What were the platforms that you were running on?
Just to give it back San Francisco, a better place to live.
Well, what does that mean, though? I mean, people would say it's a great place to live now, but they push you can't even afford to live here.
The thing is, always was a racist. Today we have a racism. Today, yesterday, tomorrow will be the same. It's not, you know. It's just that's the system, and what I'm going to tell you is what it helped very much to the San Francisco stop that racist modus is the gay community. So they're accepting the gay community great, and you know, because they have a power, political power, then the rest start going in that direction. But it's still a discrimination in San Francisco, and in Berkeley, in Oakland, all over. It still is. But that doesn't have nothing to do with the music.
No, but it's a big part of your career too.
Oh,
I mean,
yeah.
Again, what was your what were the major issues facing San Francisco when you ran for mayor the first time? Were your policies very different than Feinstein's, or was it just that your skin color was darker and they
were not qualified persons to run the city, and I believe I was more qualified.
Why?
Than the other people. I have college education. I speak few languages, and I know the system. I know the people. People, when I walk in the streets, they know who I am. When they use my business, they know who I am. I donate Cesar's Latin Palace 15 years from 11 o'clock Sundays to 6 o'clock to the senior citizens table room dancing free of charge for 15 years. Free drinks, free place, free everything. 15 years. Who did that? Bill Gates? Facebook? Google? Apple's? Buffett? Whatever you want to call it.
Right. No.
Nobody can touch me in community work. I did hundreds and hundreds of benefits to every organization, communities here, colleges, high schools, the whole school, San Francisco school system. I did benefits for each of them. AIDS, I was the first AIDS business people to do business for AIDS. The second benefit we did, Bill Graham and I, in the pier formation, which was a big thing. We did together. He asked me to together.
It's beautiful. When did you? Yes. So how did you meet? When you got here, though, correct me if I'm wrong. Did you know Charles Sullivan?
Yes.
Can you? Because the story that Calvin Keyes told me, and a few other people, is that he wound up in the estuary in his pajamas.
Yes.
He was killed. It was a mob hit, and then Bill Graham took over.
Yes.
What do you say? Is that true?
That's true. That's part of the system. Bill Graham used to come to the club all the time. He was
Caesar's.
an excellent dancer.
He loved to dance. He loved Latin music.
Dancer.
Yeah.
Excellent dancers. Yes, no questions asked. You have to give the credit. New York style.
Because that's where he was from originally.
Yeah, he was the waiter of Tito Puente. Do you know that?
No, I did not know.
He used to work in a restaurant. He used to be the special waiter for Tito Puente.
Oh, I love it.
Yes.
Okay, so what was your relationship with Charles Sullivan? Did you go to the Fillmore?
Where? With Bill Graham?
No, with Charles Sullivan before Bill Clinton.
Oh, yeah. Well, I used to go there. You know, he used to invite me. We are people just like Roger is playing there. We go there.
Roger wasn't playing when Charles Sullivan was there.
No. I'm talking about just if some group is playing there, why don't you come take a look? You know, they used to treat me good.
It was all black commerce, though.
Yeah.
It was all black run.
Yes.
You know, the Bop City was there, but but Charles Sullivan.
Oh no, the Fillmore was where they used to have blues. They used to have different type of music. It was different. You know. Now
Well, that's what I'm trying to get at is because you had James Brown and the Flames.
Yes.
There was a circuit.
James Brown.
Jim Brown.
Jim Brown.
Jimmy Brown. They had a Chitlin circuit. Martinez and all black clubs. Frenchies, I think, was another one.
Yes.
Did you take your band on that circuit? Did you play?
I played a few times with a different. Roger, it was not at that time.
Earlier. It was earlier.
Earlier.
And what was the band like? I mean,
It was just six, five people, all rhythm. I used to play every Sunday on Sausalito in sax.
Sax.
On the one, yeah, sax. Z-A.
Zags.
Yeah. And we used to pack him up that place, you know. They were the guys, they used to get the girls thrown into the water, into the bay. The owner used to say, don't play like that, you know, look at this. You making people crazy with your music. Well,
People lose their minds. They go crazy.
Man.
They have a lot of libido because they dance to the music.
Yeah, you know, they were so great.
Oh, it's so good to talk to somebody that's so honest, you know.
Sax is still there, but the thing is, Cesar, the owner of that place was some Circassian, Armenian guy. Kind of cheap guy, but that's okay. Well, the money was not the issue for us. It was fun, girls, beer, so on. So.
Did someone chimed in here, and Roger and I were talking about it. The Willie Colon that you knew was the percussionist. It was not Willie Colon from the East
York.
Coast. It was the Willie Colon.
Yeah, San
here.
Francisco. Excellent bass player. The best bass player I ever had was Willie Colon. His name is Willis Colon.
Right. So let's be clear to the question coming in. Willie Colon was the local bass player here. Latin.
No, Willie. Willis.
Conguero.
Willies. Willis Colon. He used to live in Rhode Island, Potrero district. You know why? That guy, I used to change the keys immediately. He knew that. He used to read my mind like we used to read each other. He decided to play congas, and I never liked that.
Why?
Because he was excellent. Another guy who you play, also Puerto Rican, Martin. Not Ricky Martin.
Ricky Martin.
Martin, his name was Martin. He was a Puerto Rican, good bass player, different. But Willie Colon was class. Kikum. That's, you know.
So many cats, Richard Spremich from, play with Malo.
Yeah, Malo.
Okay.
Malo played.
Did Malo did their band start at Cesar's?
Yes, we played.
But I mean, like, they didn't have, that band wasn't in existence before.
No, that was the band, Suavecito. That was that
Hadley
band
Solomon
played
was in
for
it.
me and Cesar's on Green. And also I used to own Basin on the Street West, 401 Broadway.
Wait, you used to run Basin Street West?
I used to own the business.
You used to own Basin Street West?
Yes, for 3 years only.
Oh my dear. Did you bring Coltrane in there? Who'd you bring in there? What kind of acts? What kind of bands?
Oh, I used to have different acts. It was a actually called no count Basie. A lot of jazz. The Ike Tina Turner played for me. There were two brothers. They're black brothers, the twins. They played there.
Wow. Wait, so this was Basin Street. Did you
On the business.
But I mean, did Miles come? Did Coltrane come?
Yes. They play. Oscar Peterson played for me.
Ah.
Tony Bennett played there for me. After that, Malo played there. Mongo Santa Maria played there. You played there, right?
Yeah, with Mongo. Yeah.
At the time.
Roger played there with Mongo. That would make sense.
Mongo. And up the street, 678 Broadway, I owned for 1 year because the owner didn't want to fix the roof. The lease was broken. So Mongo played there, and it was raining in the windows, and I was with buckets, you know, and that was one of the last ones.
Couple was sitting there was a couple sitting against the wall in the roof, and the roof broke, and the water was like a waterfall on these people.
Yeah.
You know, we could see across from the place. You know, it was like that. Yeah, that one didn't last too
That was
long.
in the 70s.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's just. So you, at the same time you had Cesar's, you also were owning Basin Street West.
Basement City West, also Caesar's too on Broadway.
Caesar's too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
678 Broadway. Going up, going between Stockton and Columbus.
it's just so much going through my head. I looked this morning. He has a beautiful copy of Caesar 830. What does 830 mean?
Oh, that was the time. The time.
Merle Saunders would
8:30.
say, "Hey, Caesar 830, right?"
Yeah, 8:30.
8:30.
I give you a copy of this CD.
I need it, but I'm saying, so that meant 8:30 p. What, we'll meet at 8:30 to jam. What did that mean?
8:30 we open the music. 8:30 is the time, and 8:30 is a catchy name.
Well, it's still, but I mean, that's what I'm trying. The pieces that I'm trying to put together. How did you know Tio Macero?
Oh, Tio Macero, I sent him a copy of a little demo type, whatever you call it. And he came, and he says we became good friends. He was the best producer for Colombia, you know, CBS.
Well, what I'm trying to say is, what did he do to make that album so burning hot? Did he, because he contributed? He arranged a lot of tunes on there.
Well, the arrangements has been done by Jules Rolls, the trombone player. Jules Rolls, and Theo Macero tell them do this way, this way, this way. When the recording was finished, he took the whole tape to New York, and also he added few things there.
Well, I know he did, but what could you be more specific about saying? Do this, do this. What was do this, do this, do this?
What he says, instead of this note or this, you know, this, put him up power in the brass, or put him up more in the drums. You know, the arrangement in general. That's what it is.
Wow. How would you how would you define the difference in sound between Latin music from the East Coast and Bay Area Latin music
Between the
at that time?
Oh, the time the San Francisco was the base of Latin rock music.
Some people would say it was also the Palladium.
In the 80s and 90s, it was the base of the whole Latin music of the world, San Francisco. Under the umbrella of Caesar Latin Palace. Because every month I used to have a group, which is they don't exist anymore, from New York. They beg me to bring me. All the bands in the history of New York, Miami, all over, they play in Caesars. That was their goal, to play there. And they play. Ray Barreto, Eddie Palmieri, Mongo Santa Maria, Orquesta Broadway, José Fajardo, la típica Nobel, Ray Barreto, Nietzsche,
Bobby Rodriguez
y la compañía, típica 73, Emir Buscán los Tomasinos, Nietzsche, Oscar de León. Wow, I mean, everybody, I'm telling you that.
This is
no one group, Héctor Lavoe, you know,
absolutely.
El Canario, José Alberto El Canario, merengues, Wilfrido Vargas, the other one is the big boys.
Roberto Torres.
Huh?
Roberto Torres also.
Yeah, and the best merengue players they play. Jose Feliciano play, Carl Jader play. You know that well anyway, and Tito Puente play many times. No one time, no two times, five, 6 times Tito Puente.
He played
Los Bambam de Cuba.
Right. I mean, there was just. I mean, there's a couple questions here. John Hendricks, the singer.
Yeah.
Okay, he said that without the Sicilians, there'd be no jazz in America.
Yeah.
Was there a Latin mafia, or was it Italian?
It was a Latin type mafia in New York and Miami. Always was.
Now, what was the there was Latin mafia here.
In San Francisco, no.
Like, how did you keep? I mean, who helped sponsor the clubs? What kind of resources? I mean, all the jazz clubs.
I never ever get a loan to open a business. I save my money. I don't drink. I don't smoke. It's like a Roger Glenn. We drink a glass of wine, a cocktail. That's as far as, and never.
I don't drink.
No, Billy
never-
Cobham, no
never-
drinking. Lenny White,
Never
no drinking.
use drugs, because only losers they use those items like drugs.
Okay.
I am not.
Right.
My karma is positive. I have a peace of mind, and I believe in God. Don't take me wrong. You know.
I dig. So but what you're saying is there was no.
No outside money. Never. They loan me 50 cents. I always won according to my limits, and I've been very successful over that.
Well, can you talk about a time when the Latin mafia came and tried to, and how you pushed them away?
Well,
Because I know that they came to see you because you had good resources here. You had venues, make
yeah,
money.
well,
so
they
what did
ca-
you tell? I mean, how did you explain how you dealt with them?
the Delta says, here's the place. It's just a simple Latin place. We don't have no extra venue, no extra revenues, no extra nothing.
No drugs,
No drugs.
no cocaine, no nothing.
Nothing. Never, nothing. And I know some dealers of drugs, they visit Cesar's on Green and also on the Mission, based on Street West, and also, I used to own a place in Daly City, 5999 Mission and Templeton, King Caesar's, Daly City. For 2 years, I used to own the building, to which I sold it. I used to own in San Jose in the 60s, Cesar's El Patio, 365 West San Carlos. The discrimination in San Jose was so big, you know, Los Tigres del Norte, the number one música norteña, they used to come to the club. They were my friends. They own house, they own their own plane. Discrimination was big in San Jose.
You got out of there.
Oh, I left.
Wow. So, how did disco affect Latin music?
I play music before Roger for the best society organizations, for society parties in San Francisco, all over, in Napas, all over the Bay Area, in
Sure.
the wineries, all over. And big parties, society parties, Cesar's has to play. Cesar's. Well,
Now, you know what it is? Like, some of the famous dance clubs in New York in the later 70s turned to getting rid of a live band and putting in a DJ
Yeah.
during disco.
I did that.
How did you, explain why you did not buy into the idea of the DJ? And also, how did disco affect Latin rhythms?
Didn't affect me in San Francisco at all. I used to have in the intermission at the beginning some DJ, you know, disco music. That's it. The intermission. That is continue dancing. Continue dancing. I am the co-founder of the best dance in the country, Black and White Ball, with Charlotte Mailer Schultz.
Wow.
I was the co-founder. I play every year. You play it, right?
Yeah.
We play almost every year in Black and White, and we pack 'em up places in the Black and White. The best party, that party was with the best groups in the world playing in San Francisco for the Black and White. Years ago, admission $150, $200, but you can go from one place to another place. Beautiful, beautiful.
How did you play piano on your album?
Oh yes.
The
Yes.
Cesar 830? Because how come you knew Merle? You met Merle at Jackson Sutter, or how did you know Merle Saunders?
Merle who?
Merle Saunders.
Merle Sanders? He didn't play there with us.
But he was on that album. He played organ on that album.
I don't think so. It is? It is, Roger? I don't think so.
I'm curious.
Piano, but it was also an organ thing.
It was an organ. I mean,
No, I know Merle Sanders very well.
How did you meet? North Beach or where?
Oh,
Jackson
he used to play
Southern?
here in Keystone Corner.
When did you play Keystone Corner?
Me?
Yeah.
Oh, I played many times for Ted Barker. A few times. Oh, 3-4 times.
Hold on. You played at under Brother Barkan at the Keystone Corner?
Todd Barker.
Todd Barkan.
Yes.
It was right around the corner from where
Yeah.
Caesar's was.
Around the block on
Because it was
Vallejo,
North Beach. Yeah, right. Of course it was that. So,
next to the police department.
of course. No, I mean, some legendary. So who was your band that would come in there?
The same things. The small groups, quintets.
Who? Yeah.
A bass player, conga drummer, Francisco, timbal player. You know, I used to be, what's his name? Gosh, Benny Velarde sometimes, or what's the other guy name? Gosh, well, anyway, I won't remember.
Joe Ellis.
Huh?
Joe Ellis, trumpet player.
Oh, Joe Ellis and the trumpet, yes. You know, because we used to just have not too much solos, beautiful. That's
Bass
it.
player would play the guitar on.
No, guitar, Jim Vincent, Steve Busfield.
Buzz. Those guys are on the album too.
Yes.
I'm still looking for Jim Vincent. He left. I don't know
No,
where
he's
he went.
around. He's around.
You talked to him?
No. Somebody I
Yeah,
saw-
see,
I
nobody
saw-
knows where he's at.
He died?
No, he kind of went off the
He's in the
grid.
Bay Area. One of the security guards, Debbie, remember? He talks to Jim Vincent, excellent guitar player.
How important is Roger Glenn to Latin music, to the continuation of Latin music in the Bay Area?
Roger Glenn, he came with Mongo Santa Maria. He decided to stay, and we played together over how many years?
A long time.
Over 25 years.
He was talking to me about it last night, but when do you remember the first time you played with Roger? Did he play vibes
That
with
was
you?
on Green and Columbus, in Cesar Latin Dancers, 576 Green Street at Columbus. He stayed there, and with the vibes, no sax at that time. It was flute, and also percussion and coro. And people they enjoy, and from then on, that was he played with the Latin All Stars more than any groups he did. Touring, playing here 1 day, 3 days, 4 days, a steady Fridays and Saturdays for over 25 years. Everybody knows Roger Glenn because he was on front with the vibes, with the flute, and also doing like this, 1, 2, 1, ba.
He was conducting.
Yeah, he used to do that. And after that, when Francisco go with the conga, like that. Francisco Avellia, he played over 25 years.
Oh, my hero. I want to go through these quickly with you.
Carmelo Garcia played with me.
Thank you for bringing that up.
Carmelo
Timbales,
Timbales.
unreal,
Oh,
man.
that
Thank
was
you
my
for bringing
timbal
that up.
players
Carmelo Garcia.
with in Keystone Corner, congas.
With Todd Barkin, so it was Francisco,
there.
Carmelo.
Místicamente. No, when I met Carmelo Garcia with Mongo Santa Maria, he was well dressed, beautiful, clean, beautiful. Watermelon. When he came back, he was different man. Too much drugs.
Too many drugs.
Caras. What a difference. Beautiful. It was like a model, like a fashion model, always well dressed. But he still played that.
Still plays
He's
ass
the
off.
only timbal player in the Greek theater, which is he threw the timbales to the crowd. 10,000 people. They went like that.
He threw the timbales into the crowd.
Yeah, he used to go going up and down to use a paragan, the timbals, and the people, oh, so wild. Not even Tito Puente had that reception.
Quick question. We'll just go through these quickly. Can I have your concept? What is your concept of leadership?
And music.
Just in general, leadership. What is good leadership, especially on the
Well,
bandstand?
leadership is a person which is creates he without self-interest, and also a leader is a person which is looks for different paths, different ways, different let me put it, flying in different ways, and that positive karma produces always enjoyment of life for people, and also best music in life.
I mean, are they always looking for new ground? Are they omnivores when it comes to music? They want to keep going for new ground?
Music will never stop. Music never stop. Today we are in a recession in the country, in the United States,
Economic.
with music. In the Latin music, the lousy reggaeton, which is a garbage, and also the rap in the country, in the U.S. It's a sad for me to tell you that. We don't have. I've been playing music from the 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, whatever music. Is no one orchestra from 2000, 2018 from New York. It was one, a Spanish Harlem orchestra, beautiful orchestra, excellent. It doesn't exist anymore because the leader Hernandez, he moved from New York to Hollywood because of the economic way.
Yeah.
Okay. Hello? Hello?
So, final question for you. What is Cesar Ascarrunz's concept of love?
Can you say it again?
What is your concept of love?
Love? Oh, love is something. It comes from your soul. It comes from your heart. Love is something you give into people. If they give it to you, love, I will receive that because you will see the affinity of people. Myself, I give him my love, my music, everything. I always, all my life, I've been giving that. Love is a God's gift. You know, I'm blessed by God myself, and I know that. And that thing, I don't know how to swear. I don't know how to do wrong to people because it's not in my system. Because I'm in peace with me, and that's love, and also that thing projects to everybody.
Does love? It's unconditional, meaning you can give it with no expectation of return.
It's not conditional. I don't put condition in love because it's you class you don't buy, you don't make a class. You were born with class. It's just like that. Love doesn't you don't buy, it grows that thing, and that thing it it reflects like a beautiful light. You know, it's just it's like a fireworks. It's, oh my God, look at this, how beautiful. Guys, they say to me all the time, I love you, man. Women the same, everybody. I have a gay people, they say they love me, but the thing is that's different type of love, you know, and it's not sex, it's nothing like that. It's just a pure appreciation of one person to another one human being to another human being.
Cesar Ascarrunz, we will do part 2 in the future. I called you 7 years ago to do an interview, one of my first interviews, and we never were able to finish. We never got it together. Thank you to Roger Glenn for putting us together. Much love to you, man. I hope you can continue and continue to bring light to people.
Thank you. Thank you.
It's the Jake Feinberg Show. See you later.